go into detail, but something happened with the family. You just weren't able to make it, right?
Yeah, we had some stuff going on, and I wasn't able to make it over, unfortunately.
All right. You get one excused absence per
only one
month, okay?
All
but
right, cool.
let's not let that happen again.
Wait, what happens if I have two?
Well, I don't know.
2 eps.
I don't know. Then we just say,
decided.
please don't have 3. It just keeps on going up and up. All right. Seems like the cameras are not switching. You haven't been on yet, but I promise you, Jonathan is there, and we'll get that worked out. Next to Jonathan is Manny Ortiz, who previously worked as director of operations manager for KTH 910 AM. And is coming back in some capacity. We can't quite give a lot of details, but he's here training today, so good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
All right. Have you read any of the Summa? You have any familiarity with it?
Not very much. I mean, just here and there. I remember when you first started, reading Summa. I remember you had this thing. You started eating it up, and I remember going through a few passages.
And I was teaching the class even back from our old studio. Remember that? Once a week I'd go on and all that. So you are occupying what we call the hot seat. We talk about this a lot, and we like to just kind of bring somebody in, and you just kind of participate as much or as little as you want. And so, anyways, welcome. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Diane Xavier is behind the glass. She is our producer. She answers the calls. We like when people call in and talk to us on the air because we get kind of lonely just among just us. Phone number 877-757-9424, 877-757-9424. And can we introduce Sissel yet, or is she still working behind the scenes?
I am officially not working anymore.
And YouTube is not up, or it is?
No, YouTube is up again. We were having a little bit of a weird, wonky delay start for YouTube. But we're on now.
Okay.
So hello, everyone on YouTube. Sorry if we scared you away for a minute, but we're back.
We are pretty scary.
All right.
Nope.
Yeah, somebody's got to turn that down. But all right, so now
I think that's you, Dave.
Oh, is that me? Okay. I was getting so judgmental. I was like, somebody has their audio up. It's typically me. Anytime you hear audio like that, it's probably me. I just want to say, as far as topics today, the easy kind of low-hanging fruit to do would be, hey, we're going into Holy Week. Let's talk about the passion of Jesus Christ, which would have been a great thing to talk about.
And Dave is like, we do not just do the easy. Like, why would we do that?
That's right. We don't always take the easy road. Sometimes we take the hard road. So actually, I'll be honest with you, I picked the topic, and then I thought, it probably would have been better going into Holy Week to do something more directly related to Holy Week and the Passion and all that. So it's on me. I'm not going to blame anybody else.
Makes sense.
So then I thought I'd already chosen to talk about purgatory and hell and kind of last things kind of thing. But so I thought, okay, I'm going to get out of this one because why did Jesus suffer and die? Okay, he suffered and died so that we didn't go to hell, right?
Right.
He opened up the gates of heaven, so, there would have been no point in Jesus coming to redeem us if there wasn't the threat of us going to hell, okay? So we're going to kind of skip the easy road, as Sissel said, and we're going to talk about some of these kind of interesting things about judgment and purgatory, and I was going to talk about limbo, but I forgot to load something in about that.
That one?
Do you think the church, you know what limbo is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a game that's really difficult.
Yeah, when you're on ice, you're on roller skates.
Or without roller skates, and you try to get low. You know what's really small little side?
Which
brother,
you're allowed to do.
Yeah, my 6'1" brother is better at that game than I am.
Wow.
And that's very annoying. I don't know if it's something about his center of gravity or something like that, but he just because he's so tall, I guess it's like, but he can bend over impressively far back. All right, side over.
And just for the record, Thomas Aquinas definitely was in the limbo camp. Okay, not the kind of limbo you're talking about. He believed in it, he taught it, and he said there was a distinction between what they called limbo of the fathers and limbo of the children. Limbo of the fathers would have been kind of what's often referred to as Sheol, like the Old Testament.
Like the Bosom of Abraham?
Yeah, exactly. The Bosom of Abraham. These are people that died before Jesus. See, the theologians are always trying to work this out, kind of with limbo, because they figure, well, okay, somebody dies in righteousness before Jesus suffers and dies on the cross. Well, they're saved through Jesus's death and resurrection, but it hadn't happened yet. So where do they go? I mean, they can't go to heaven because they haven't really been redeemed yet because Jesus hasn't gone through that yet, right? So they're like, well, what's going to happen? So they said, well, there's kind of this holding tank, so to speak,
Yeah.
like the green room. They're waiting for the big dance, but they can't go there yet. So that was called the Limbo of the Fathers, the Bosom of Abraham, kind of like that story in the Bible about Abraham and Dives, right?
Yeah.
Where the the Divas, Lazarus and Divas, or what was it called?
Yeah, Lazarus and something.
Yeah, where the rich man was in one area of like torment.
Yes.
And then, but the poor guy was in the bosom of Abraham.
Yeah, so there's a great chasm between us. So
yeah, a great chasm, and you can't go back and forth and all that. Yeah. So the church doesn't still teach limbo. But the problem was that, okay, if baptism is necessary and you have to be baptized to be saved, what about the babies who die before they're baptized? They can't go to heaven, right? Not going to put them in hell. So theologians are like, wait, well, what do they do? So we're going to kind of create this other place called limbo.
And didn't Benedict XVI, didn't he touch on that something?
He did,
talk?
Yeah. He actually said there's no limbo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he said that it's like you don't have to believe in it, but you can.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't know.
I thought you could.
I don't know. I mean, because then there's like a whole another place. I mean, like
place that has never been mentioned before.
Yeah, so you're like
place number 4.
Door number
Room
4.
4, yeah.
No, because then if you're, like we have, we miscarried 5 children. They weren't baptized, but they were human beings, right? Yeah. We weren't able to baptize them, but I gotta think it'd be kind of weird. Does that bell mean something? Like when one of us makes a good point, do the bells ring?
An angel got
An angel just got his wings.
Just for reference, the radiothon for our Spanish stations is going on. That's why the bells are going on. That's a good sign, by the way.
Yeah.
And real quick, Dave, we have some watchers I wanted to just shout out real quick. We have Becky from Midland, Texas.
Watching the program?
Watching the program, and
really?
she's bilocating because she's both, I believe, assuming Rebecca and Becky are the same person because they have the same last name, on both Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, really?
So pretty awesome. Has achieved some holiness there. And says, what an important topic. Thank you, and may God bless you all. And also says, hi, Dave.
Okay. All right. So, I don't see any of the comments.
It's on YouTube and on Facebook. YouTube on GRN's page. And then also, this is kind of an exciting thing, our Back to the Father YouTube page, we gained a subscriber. That's not just us and our families. Pete1534, if you're watching, thank you.
All right.
Calling out the subscribers.
Pretty exciting. So.
Hey, when we have 11, I will call them out.
We have 11. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's so also Rebecca. Well, thank you for watching. So she's watching on 2 different platforms, which is good because it drives the numbers up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes us feel better about ourselves. All right, so before the bell rang, we were talking about this whole limbo thing, and so let's just say through God's grace, and I died not in a state of I died in a state of grace. I go to heaven, but then my child is in a whole different place, and they didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I think that's the dilemma, and I think that's why they because they didn't want to put him in hell, but. I think the official church teaching today is that we leave it to the mercy of God.
Right.
We don't say they're in heaven because they weren't baptized, but we leave it to the mercy of God. We're kind of like, come on, God, please.
Right.
Wouldn't you say, isn't that right?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I think just leaving it up to the, God's mercy is infinite, right? So how far can it go? So it's like, well, we can't know everything, I guess.
I know I think it's the Russian Orthodox Church. They have a whole name for Mary, another one. It's Our Lady of the Unborn. And there's this big icon of her. She's filling up her I guess robes with 1,000 babies. It's for abortion, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's very good. And there's so we're going to talk about some interesting things having to do with judgment. I don't know if you all know this. I always forget because I teach this class, I do this show, and I do a YouTube channel, and I kind of forget which one did we talk about? But did we talk about judgment and the general judgment, all that kind of stuff?
A little bit.
Very little, yeah. I don't think we dedicated a show to it, but I think it was brought up.
Okay, because this is some pretty interesting stuff. So let's go to the slideshow, and it says whether after the resurrection everyone will know what sins he has committed. Have we covered this yet?
Wait, so
Vaguely.
read,
I mean, like,
read
okay,
again.
Vaguely. Yeah, and you guys forget everything anyways, don't
Well,
you?
I was going to
mean,
say,
even
like,
from week to
I like
week.
that you've given us out that we can just say, Dave, I think that was your high school students you taught it to, not us. Teach it again
Yeah.
when we forget.
Yeah, because I forget it too.
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause
none of us really remember
Dave
anything,
doesn't give
right?
us proper reviews,
But
so
we got
that's why
Manny
we don't
here
learn.
today.
They know
Yes,
tests
yes,
and
yes.
reviews.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Manny's doing, I thought, were you looking something up?
Yeah, I
or-
was just looking something up real quick, but never mind.
No, go ahead. Is
No,
it like pertinent? It's not like
No,
what
no,
you're going
no.
to
It's
have
not
for
like
dinner
what time
tonight?
does Taco Bell close?
No, it was something with it's just St. Thomas,
Oh, okay.
I was just remembering something about the Saint at Franciscan. There was always the Thomas, and the phenomenologists.
Oh, is that right?
So yeah,
Were,
so it's
were
like-
they like
Well,
like
we would have
fun
this-
little content, like you want to say like a little
Well, it was-
they were different camps. so
Yeah,
to
yeah,
speak?
different camps. It would be funny to kind of watch them. They weren't bashing each other, but just in fun, and, all in fun and stuff like
Wait,
that.
and which one were you in?
I don't know. I think you
don't know.
like Dr. Scott Hahn, is Thomas, so it's like
Yeah.
I was along in that.
So
in that camp.
now, not to put you on the spot, but you
Yes.
brought it up. What's a phenomenologist? Do you know what that is?
I can't remember, man. It was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I mean, phenomenology is a branch of philosophy, and I think, and don't quote me, maybe somebody, because we got a lot of bright
I
people.
meof you're being recorded, Dave.
We
so
got a
we're
lot of,
kinda
bright
quoting
people
you right
that
now,
join
but-
us in the show. The phenomenology, I think, I think it was a guy named Edwin Husserl.
Okay.
And then John Paul II also was a phenomenologist.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it has to do with kind of seeing life through the perspective of the individual. Not like, looking from the outside. I think Aquinas was more kind of like, what is an angel? What is God? What is the human
okay.
person? Intellect, will, passions, our teleology, our goal is to get to heaven. So you're kind of like an outside observer looking at, the journey of the human person.
Yeah.
I think phenomenology is kind of like going inside and saying, well, how does that from the perspective of the person?
Okay.
Okay, so I mean they're very compatible, but they're different. Okay, but that's interesting that there was that little competition.
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
It was
But
pretty
they
funny.
play each other like in flag football and stuff.
Right. So it was pretty funny. We'd sit there.
I'd cheer for the Thomists personally.
Oh, of course, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those
Who could've seen that?
phenomenologists, man, they're a bunch of weenies. I mean, yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah, we always imagine maybe a fight breaking out or something right in the middle.
That would
Bring
be
out the
pretty funny.
bats,
Yeah, it's kind of like they have like the seminarians versus the priests basketball games.
Oh, yeah.
That never seen a fight break out, but
close,
that would be kind of sad. All right, so now we've established that we probably haven't covered this on this show, and if we did, we all forgot about it anyways, and so.
Now that we've established that.
Now
Yeah. Okay. So whether after the resurrection, everyone will know what sins is committed. So do you think at the you got two judgments? You got the particular judgment when you die, you get judged, and then there's the general judgment, like at the end of time. And really, the way that Thomas describes this, I mean, seriously, it's like every single person who's ever. What? What's going on?
No, I'm just picturing it, Dave.
No, I mean everybody. I mean,
I
how
know.
many people do you think have ever lived ever in the history of the world? I mean, right now we got like 3 billion people in the world.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right?
gosh.
So you got to figure there's probably like maybe at least 50 billion.
I would say so.
I thought we were
say
at,
so.
I thought we were at 7 billion.
Yeah, we're at
Oh,
7 billion.
okay.
That's
So
right.
let's.
Sorry for the 5 million people that Dave forgot about.
Yeah, I mean,
No, $5 billion
Yeah.
person. So let's just say that, just for argument's sake, let's say there's been 200 billion people that have lived.
yeah.
Okay. The way Thomas pictures it, seriously, is that somehow, some way, these 200 billion people are going to be present together for the final judgment.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not only that, but get a load of this. Okay. So he says that basically in the day when, next slide, in the day when God shall judge, each one's conscience will bear witness to him, and his thoughts will accrue and accuse and defend him. And since in every judicial hearing the witness, the accuser, and the defendant need to be acquainted with the matter on which the judgment has to be pronounced, and since at the general judgment all the works of men will be submitted to the judgment, it will behoove every man to be cognizant then of all his works. Wherefore each man's conscience will be as a book containing his deeds on which judgment will be pronounced, even as in the human court of law we may use records. So you'll know everything that you did in like one instant. Every sin, every good thing. It's like your whole life. Because they sometimes talk about
So
like...
when they say life will flash before your eyes,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
that's
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what Aquinas says will happen. But not only that, okay, The next question says whether everyone will be able to read all that is in another's conscience.
Oh no!
Whoa. Back off, man.
Information overload.
So okay, I want to read this. I know reading articles from the Summa is probably not the most stimulating thing in the world.
Listen, this is how it works, Manny. Dave reads it, and then we go, Cakes, please explain.
No, we go.
No, they got these glazed looks.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah, and
Totally.
Okay, so no, let's just kind of get a load of this because this blows me away. Okay, he says, at the last and general judgment, it behooves. I told my students, by the way, in their final essay, I would give them an extra point if they used the word behoove. I mean, seriously.
Can you just please define?
It behooves. It kind of it benefits you. Like
Yes.
I could say like condescendingly, it would behoove you, Jonathan, to pay attention during the show.
It would be
Okay.
I was going to do something much nicer, like chocolate behooves me.
No,
that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work, would it?
Dave's got to roast
Wait.
someone.
Yeah, I mean, it would be to your advantage.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, like it would behoove Manny to be, say nice things to his wife.
Oh, okay.
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 It would behoove everyone to get me chocolate. There you go. That's where I was trying to go.
Really?
Sissel's going to work chocolate into this conversation.
It would
It's the
behoove
last
you if
thing
we
she
gave you
does.
chocolate.
Some way or another.
It would behoove Sissel. That's what we need. We need rewards for the trivia at the end of the show.
We can behoove each other.
Yeah. So, anyways, where were we? We were behooving.
I'm gonna be at home. See, I don't.
Behoven.
I'm gonna be behoom. What?
See,
I'm gonna be at home saying behoove everything.
You're gonna get home and behoove.
If nothing else that people can take away today is the word behoove.
Behoove. Okay, so let me start
Back to the Summa.
over because I
Back to the Father.
did back to the Father. Okay. At the last and general judgment, it behooves the divine justice, which now is in many ways hidden, to appear evidently to all. Now, the sentence of one who condemns or rewards cannot be just unless it be delivered according to merits and demerits. Therefore, just as it behooves, second reference, both judge and jury to know the merits of a case in order to deliver a just verdict, so it is necessary, in order that the sentence appear to be just, that all who know the sentence should be acquainted with the merits. Hence, since everyone will know all of his reward or condemnation, so will everyone else know of it, and consequently, as each one will recall his own merits or demerits, so will he be cognizant of those of others.
So basically, so that everyone who is present is aware why the judgment is given to that particular person, that's why they all have to know it.
Exactly.
See, I'm getting better at translating things
got
on
me.
Aquinas.
No, I mean, yeah, so it behooves everybody. So think about that. 200 billion people.
Yeah.
And you're going to, in our little mind, know, like, some dude from Saudi Arabia that lived 300 years ago.
He got mad at his dog once.
Yeah, I'm going to know
man.
that. I mean, isn't that just beyond, like, crazy?
It's interesting, too, because if you think about it, like, that, it's kind of, on one hand, obviously, you're like, okay, all my sins are going to be listed. That's fantastic, lovely. But also, it's interesting that God, like St. Thomas saying that God will do that for us because then we can all like understand it. I guess the way he was, judging, which is not, I guess, necessary, but it's kind of nice.
No,
yeah, but also because right now our minds here on Earth. And by the way, Adrian has chimed in. Do you see that?
Where is Adrian?
We always put Adrian to the top of the
Where
list.
is
He's on
Adrian?
YouTube. He's here.
I see no Adrian.
Yeah, really?
I see no Adrian.
Did you put like an Adrian blocker on
I
your?
did.
No. Okay. Why is Adrian not showing up for you?
Adrian, where are you?
No, I'll read his
we
comment.
do
Are you?
have
Are you
a
on
comment
Twitter?
on Facebook.
Yeah, we
from
do.
Paula.
We do have a comment on Facebook.
From
but
my wife, Paula?
No, different Paula. She's
okay.
asking about.
Yeah, my
I
wife
think she's
doesn't
asking
watch.
about. Dave,
It's not important.
whenever you want to answer this, is talking about. I think just in general the existence of purgatory. She says, what does it say in the Bible? And many Catholic traditions have come from men, not Jesus Christ. So I'm going to assume Paula is not Catholic.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah. So stand
Paula,
by.
yeah, we're gonna let.
I figured we were. That's why I was going.
Yeah, hang on, Paula. We're gonna get to that, but let me just read real quickly because Adrian, do you know Adrian? Have you met Adrian?
Adrian, I don't know a lot of
Are you
Adrian,
on
so I don't know.
Twitter?
That's what you
Where
know.
are you?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Back to the Father.
Which YouTube page?
I don't know. It's wherever. Miss me and Adrian.
We have
Yep.
2 streams.
Oh, okay. Got 2 streams going on. Okay, so
That would be why.
Okay,
you know.
so Adrian said any show on Holy Week in the Triduum. Okay, I guess that's what he, wanted us to do, but of
See,
course we
Dave?
didn't. Phenomenologists are whack. He said. And,
Tell us what you really feel,
and
Adrian.
Thomistic phenomenology is also whack. So Adrian apparently is not a fan of phenomenology. Okay, so he would have been, I think, on the Thomist team at Franciscan. He says 8 billion. Okay, that's how many people are in the world.
Oh, okay.
Not only that, but according to Father Von Cochrane, they will all be in the Valley of Josaphat in the Holy Land. Okay, so I guess everybody's going to be gathered together. So are we on 2 different YouTube channels?
4.
4.
Or
We
Seriously.
somehow have a double stream on both of our channels, so that's
Interesting.
exciting.
How many do we have comments from other people?
No,
Because I don't see Paula.
this is gonna
Paula's
be
on
great for
Facebook.
like publicity.
Follow us on Facebook. We're just really making sure everyone gets the notifications. We had some difficulties
Okay.
with YouTube, so I think even though I ended the stream, it apparently didn't end the stream. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of confusing. But
But it's okay. I'll monitor them all.
But here's the deal. Okay, Thomas teaches in the Summa that our minds right now, because we are a composite of body and soul, and we come to know things through the senses, right? We have a very limited minds in that we do one thing at a time. Okay. So we learn one thing and then we move on to another thing. We can't really do 2 things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to add 4 plus 4 and divide 16 by 8 at the exact same time, it's really hard. You can do one and you do the other, and you can do it like really quickly. But the angels have minds that are different. They everything that they need to know is given to them when they're created at the same time.
Yeah.
So our minds will become angelic in a sense. We won't become angels, but our minds will become angelic, different. And so we'll be able to kind of comprehend all this stuff, understand all this stuff at the same time.
So are we talking like at the glorified body, or is this?
Yes. Glorified body.
Glorified body. Okay.
Yeah, right. So
I'm really looking forward to that.
That's gonna be great.
yeah. But didn't we do a show on the
We did.
yeah,
Oh,
see, you remember that
Okay.
one.
Yeah, you also said we can just like think and be places, right?
Oh, yeah,
Aren't we able
teleport.
to like teleport
Well,
kind of?
you can move like what it is, and this is actually going to come up in this show, is that your body will be at complete like obedience to your rational mind. So if your mind, like right now,
Okay.
like right now, you might say like I need to stay awake. I need to stay awake, but you're really tired, and then you're like falling asleep or something, and so your body is doing something that your mind doesn't want it to do, because there's a lack of integrity between the original sin, right?
Yeah.
But in glory, the body will do exactly what the mind says. So if you said, I want to be out in the parking lot, like your body would just go
With
there.
that
Go
exact
there.
same sound.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
right.
brings up a question. So I'm trying to dig my memory here, but I can't remember. So Adam and Eve before the fall,
Yeah.
glorified body.
No. They were in a. Yeah, that's a great. I'm glad you brought that up, because they were called. They were in a state of justice, a state of innocence.
Okay.
And they had integrity between. Like they couldn't sin carnally. Like before original sin. I always use the example in my class of like going to a Mexican restaurant. They put the chips and salsa in front of you. We're all tempted to eat too many, except for it's not Sissel, but that's guys,
Sorry, I'm pretty sure I ate a lot the other day. It was not good.
but they wouldn't have had that, because they would not have had concupiscence, like what we call a tendency to sin. Because their only sins could have been spiritual sins, like envy or avarice or something like that.
Right.
Isn't the reason why they weren't like in the fully glorified bodies because they hadn't merited any good yet? I heard that was the reason.
Oh, because they weren't in heaven.
Yeah, they were.
It wasn't heaven, so they still needed.
Okay,
but it was kind of like a middle point.
That's like limbo, kind of in a way.
Yeah, they're kind of like it was a much better situation. Then as soon as they sinned, then all of a sudden they could have lusted after each other. They could have wanted 5 slices of pizza instead of 3. And so and then of course we all got that as well, and that's why we were disordered, right? And we eat too many too many tortilla chips.
I'm just really
problem.
hungry now.
Too many
Mexican
tamales.
restaurants. All right, I'm totally confused.
Don't worry, I'm monitoring
are
the.
you monitoring
I'm
it?
monitoring
Okay.
it. I've got it.
Okay,
Monitoring
so
what?
I'm monitoring a lot of social media
and
platforms.
was it Paula or Rebecca that wanted to know about Purgatory?
Paula.
Okay, so hopefully she'll hang around. So hang around, Paula. We're not just stringing it out there, but I got to go kind of sequentially here on these slides. All right, so next slide says whether the plants and animals will remain in this renewal. Okay, this is the big question. I know we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
but we got Manny. He's fresh mind and all that.
I don't remember anything we said.
Do you think there'll be like animals in heaven?
You know, it's a good question because my daughters were asking me that. We have a little dog, and they, and one.
What? Why would you say?
Oh, that's like the
everybody knows
question.
what
I
it
get,
means.
that's the question
And
as
I'm
a
like-
parent. You're like, man, I gotta go
Yeah,
here.
you know, I remember in a, I guess I can't remember what philosophy class there was, but there was a talk about that, and like, yeah, animals have spirit, but
they
you know,
got
or something like that,
souls.
or maybe
No,
they,
they
yeah,
have
like
souls,
or what's what I
but,
meant,
but
yeah.
they're not spiritual souls.
Yeah. So
According to
yeah,
Aquinas, yeah.
so yeah, he brought that up. Like they have souls, but you know, I can't remember, but I remember them talking about that. But
Yeah.
it was very interesting, and I did, you know, I just told my girls, I don't know.
So basically, Aquinas comes down and says because they are corruptible, like they can corruptible means that they're not like so they don't have subsistent souls that can live on their own. Like we believe, like if Jonathan were to die right now, don't die, okay? It would behoove you
I'll
not
hold
to
on
die.
to
It
him,
would behoove you not to die.
Watch me.
We would believe that his soul would escape and go to judgment, and
Finally get outta
his
here.
body would be here, and we the body would be here with us, which would be a little awkward.
It would be kind of awkward. It wouldn't, yeah. Not gonna
But,
lie.
I mean, our views would go up massively.
Oh, yeah. I should do that for the show.
High school intern dies.
Wow.
on the show.
That is so twisted.
I'm sorry.
That's the first thing you came up with. Thank you, sister.
I know.
Real quick before we get
loves
too
you.
far away from the Adam and Eve discussion. Before we get away from, I'm on a roll today. The Adam and Eve discussion. Mike on YouTube, on one of the YouTubes, said that pre-natural gifts versus supernatural. Adam and Eve had
Preternatural?
preternatural. I missed the ER in there. Preternatural gifts. Yes.
All right. Yeah, preternatural gifts. Right. Okay. So what was I getting at? Sissel's comment.
So,
I'm really sorry.
I think what you were trying to say was
If a dog came in the room and
died. He would. His whole will not escape.
Yeah,
and he
his
would
whole
not.
body would be corrupted, and there would be nothing left. Okay, so Thomas is saying that the only things that can survive, into the next world would be things that are incorruptible.
But I've always thought that I know that there aren't any animals in heaven, but in glory and the renewal of the earth, I always figured there'd be animals.
But only because, like, okay,
Not the same ones, but just new ones to
like
populate
new
the earth.
little like heaven animals.
No, just like
New little.
different. I mean, there would still be
chihuahuas?
nature in the renewed earth, wouldn't
Well,
there?
I mean, it brings up that scripture verse, right? I mean, and the lion shall lay with, or
The
shall
lamb.
lie down with the lamb, and
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're talking about symbolically, but
Yeah.
I mean, are we just gonna live on this barren landscape of just rocks and just be like, woo? You know, I mean, it's a physical.
let's go cliff diving.
Okay, so if Manny's daughter, here's my official teaching. I'm not saying this is the church's teaching, but I think it's a reasonable one. The animals are not there on their own merit. They're not there because they were
They
really
were
good.
such a good animal.
Yeah, and God
they're there
poured.
for us.
Because my dogs would never
yeah,
make
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Twain said heaven is based on grace and not merit, because if it was based on merit, our dogs would get in and we wouldn't. Which I think makes sense because dogs
I've
are
not met my dogs.
generally better than us. They're loyal and everything. But anyways, but if your daughter's heavenly experience would be enhanced by having her dog there with her, then maybe the dog's there,
Oh,
but
okay.
not because they
Yeah.
got there
get
like
in.
we got there.
Right.
Does that say? So I had a very, very intense discussion, or my young adult group did at Brahms late one night, as you do.
We're all theologically
sorry.
skeptical.
Yeah, Brahms
Brahms
brings
is
out
open
the-
that late.
Brahms brings out the
They are.
worst in
They're
us,
open. That's why
doesn't
we
it?
go there. They're open until 11 p.m. Anyhow, I appreciate. I'm sure everyone in the Brahms appreciated the really strong discussion we were having about food
Definitely.
in heaven and the afterlife, and in the new earth. So, out of curiosity, what does it? Since we're on the subject of like animals and things like that, is food going to exist? My friend very, very adamantly believes yes.
Thomas would disagree.
Yeah, I figured.
Because the food is in order to keep our bodies alive.
Speaking of food,
Hey, come on right here. No, our bodies are to keep food is to keep our body alive.
Yeah.
But then in heaven, we won't need that. And quite frankly, I mean, food's kind of nice and tastes good, and it's all that, but it's kind
annoying.
of
My
kind of a
friend
pain.
is from
I mean,
Louisiana, and he's like, it is such a way of love, food. And I'm like, yes, but you're going to have Jesus. So I don't feel like
actually,
as
that's the
great
thing.
as food is.
I like what you were saying about if a dog would enhance your heavenly experience. I don't think that would be the reason like animals would be there, because you wouldn't need it because it's you have Jesus. But the way I see it is that, like how you were talking about the Thomistic view of nature, just seeing the wonder of God's creation.
Yeah.
I think that's why there would be nature. Just because right now we have it in a kind of a corrupted form because we screwed up and,
And that's
made
why,
the
like,
world
and they're all eating each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And why cockroaches exist and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spiders. So I think that in glory, it would be like a perfected nature. It's not there so we can be like, oh, yeah, my dog's here. But instead we can just marvel at all of the,
Right. It helps us better appreciate
and understand
God,
God.
and His creation. Yeah, right. So that's why this is kind of like a test run. I mean, we're getting a little experience of heaven. Most people don't see it that way. Even cockroaches. Cecil would understand the glory and goodness of cockroaches.
Really don't need
And plus,
to.
it's built into our nature. I mean, we're physical creatures, and we are observant. If we just lived in this like weird gray rocky landscape, that just I don't think that would fit. That's not what was intended.
All right, so I'm going to turn this really dark right now.
Oh dear.
And let's start talking about hell. There's a question. There's a question called whether the demons will carry out the sentence of the judge on the damned.
Oh, boy.
Do you think the demons carry out the sentence, or is it directly from God that we are? I mean, what are the roles of the demon in the judgment?
I don't know, but
What do you think?
I think they're to test man. God
Well,
uses.
Diane's so funny. Diane will just kind of like pop in. I'm like, where'd that voice come from? What is that?
Voice in the sky.
Yeah, Diane's
No,
like,
I'm listening
She
carefully.
won't be in a conversation for like 20 minutes, and all of a sudden, but no, and we appreciate it, Diane. That's
I think God uses Satan to test man. And
Okay.
in the judgment time, Satan presents your sins to God. And then from there, God judges the state of your soul and decides if you will enter heaven or not.
all right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking about the final judgment or just
Final judgment. Like when people are sent to hell, do the demons actually pass the judgment?
yeah.
I feel like they would, because it's kind of a way to torment you. Because if you're in hell, it's just going to be a reminder of all the horrible things that you did and why you're here. So it's like an extra punishment.
Yeah. All right. Here. I'm sorry.
Oh no, just real quick, because I think I never really thought about that. It's interesting you bring that up until the Sistine Chapel. Was it what do they call it? Was here in Irving.
Oh,
The pictures.
yes.
That was not like Fair Park or something.
Yeah, it was here. I think
Okay.
it was Fair Park. But anyway, the
Irving Mall.
I think the last judgment, that mural, I was just sitting there staring at it and just watching the demons at the bottom too.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot the name of the one, just holding that big old club, just kind of beating them, almost like
Beating him with a
Like
club?
he's like got this big old
Man.
thing ready to be. And I thought it kind of brought to mind that like, wow, I wonder if that's going to be part of the judgment. These.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think people
Beating
think
the
about
clubs.
this. We were talking about this on Cecil's show, is that it's like if you really love somebody, you want like, I'm going to show you a creepy picture here in a second. And when I was doing my class yesterday, I was like, oh, picture's kind of creepy. If you want to turn away from the screen for a few, for 30 seconds, you don't want to look at it. And then I thought and said, no, you need to look at this because we need to be afraid of hell. I mean, we ought to see pictures of hell, and it should, literally scare the hell out of us, Okay, so here's the explanation. On the next slide here. Just as among the saved, order will be observed, so that some will be enlightened and perfected by others, because all the orders of the heavenly hierarchies will continue forever. So too will order be observed in punishments, men being punished by demons, lest the divine order, whereby the angels are placed between the human nature and the divine, be entirely set aside. Wherefore, just as the divine illuminations are conveyed to men by the good angels, so too the demons execute the divine justice on the wicked.
Oh, yeah.
No, gosh.
Yeah.
That's not going to be fun.
That's not going to be fun at all. Okay, here's
Don't
the
want to be down there.
Here's the creepy picture. Look at that. Look at that picture. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy thoughts.
Yeah, that's creepy. But you got to see it, right?
Yeah.
I do have a question for you.
Okay.
If we got enough time here. And think about not only, maybe the suffering, but the soul's feeling hate. hate for us, even the souls in hell feeling hate for us. Because
Yeah.
I think about the dream of, the saint of the youth.
John Bosco.
John Bosco had
yeah.
the dream of those boys in hell, and they were just full of hate, trying to drag down the other boys with them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
Right.
it's like what would motivate the demons to be, like in the St. Michael prayer, they roam about the world seeking the ruin of souls, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
would they do that? I mean,
Yeah.
Because they're jerks.
Because they hate us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all right. So there's a question here: whether the blessed pity the unhappiness of the damned. It's a long explanation. I'm not going to go into all of it, but. So
What's the short answer?
The blessed in heaven.
No.
Let's say, God forbid, I hate even saying this, but let's say, one of our loved ones is in hell, and we're in heaven, right? And you're aware of that because you know basically all things, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, the teaching of Aquinas is that we would not mourn for that. We're not going to mourn, and
Well,
there's a good explanation.
Yeah, the way I always heard was that one, when you're in heaven, you have perfect detachment, so you're not necessarily so attached to other people or things aside from just God. Also, you have the clarity to fully understand the justness of of what God has done.
Yeah.
It's just,
And
He deserves it.
Didn't we talk last week about there's being there's no sadness like in heaven?
Yeah.
Was that what we talked about?
Yeah,
right?
because we did.
Yeah.
Well, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
because if
impossible
you
to
could be
be sad.
sad in heaven, it wouldn't be heaven. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you'd have total control of your passions, where only the good passions. So you're not going to be like sad or depressed, or you're not going to despair, because that would not be the heavenly experience. And the other thing is, as Thomas explains, is that just like I was talking to Zach about this before Sissel's show. It's impossible to hope for something impossible.
Yeah.
Like I can't, hope to be a woman or something like that, which not that anybody in this culture would do that,
Never.
Yeah,
ever.
because it's impossible. You can't hope for something impossible. Well, there's no point in them pitying something that's irreversible.
Yeah.
Like the damned are going to be there forever, and so there's no point in being sorrowful for something that has absolutely no chance of changing.
Yeah,
Right.
it's interesting because I had a conversation with my daughter Sophia, and she brought up, because we were talking about this, and she brought up that, to have pity on a damned soul would be like, it's like you're not trusting in God's justice.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
And they say also, if you're like in a courtroom and somebody a defendant is being sentenced and he did some heinous act.
yeah,
Well, you could be very, very content with the punishment, in some cases, perhaps even the death penalty.
yeah.
You could be content with that. That doesn't mean you hate him, but you know that justice is being served.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
so-
oh, poor Hitler.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's your justice is being served, and you're content with that. And like you say, you're not questioning God's judgment, right?
Right, right.
And plus, in like the general judgment, you knew everything that's going on because we already talked about that.
Yeah, it
And
makes
so
sense.
You're aware of it all. Okay, is every act of the will of the damned evil? Okay, this kind of goes. We talked about this. Is every like ounce of their will, everything evil in the damned, like
Yes.
the demons? You say yes.
I say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
All
say
they
yes
can-
too.
Uh,
I mean, I don't.
Everyone looked at me. I was like,
Yeah,
Just say no. Just
I'd say
change it
no
up.
just to change it up. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Actually, it's no.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's a crowd pleaser.
Go
much-
me.
Okay. Let's,
Yeah, yeah.
and by the way, is anybody still commenting at all? Is everybody
no,
everybody gone?
We've scared everyone away.
We tend to
Talking
pretty
about
much
hell too much,
we,
man.
Yeah.
we tend to pretty much just kind of let everybody.
We did have a new friend join us though. Joe. He did prayer hands and a rosary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Joe that we know?
Nope. Unless
No,
you
we
know
don't
it.
know that, Joe.
I'm a poet. I didn't even know it.
So did
Moving
Paula
on.
leave then to answer a question? Did
I
Paula leave?
think
Yeah.
Paula, she's like, if you're not going to talk about purgatory now, I'm out of here.
She
Get a lot
could
of-
still be watching.
We got
Yeah,
a lot
let's
of
see.
people that just kind of come and go. You know, they're in, they're
Traitors.
out.
They come for the hat and they didn't stay for the Summa.
No, they come. Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So now let me. Okay. Since there seems to be some interest in this, let me read this. Okay.
Hey, Joe says hey, so he's still
okay.
watching.
Hi, Joe.
Joe. Who's Joe? Is that Joe McClain?
No, it's I
Joe-
don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Okay.
Is it Joe Biden?
No,
Guys.
Joe Legaspi. I'm gonna say Joe Legaspi. He's commenting.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, get this. This is gonna make a lot of sense. Okay.
This is why people don't stay and watch our show, Dave.
I know. Wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, if like the president of the United States was watching the I mean, that'd be cool.
great. That'd be great.
I mean, yeah,
publicity right there.
Yeah, I mean that might bring in more views than Jonathan croaking. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
It
yeah.
would.
All right, a twofold will may be considered in the damned, namely the deliberate will and the natural will.
Okay.
Their natural will is not theirs of themselves, but the author of nature. God gave them their natural will, who gave nature this inclination which we call the natural will. Therefore, since nature remains in them, it follows that the natural will in them can be good. Because the will is always attracted to the good. Okay? Like you cannot will something evil. You know, you could like, I mean, we talked about this before. If Manny is thinking like, you know, after this show, I'm going to go out in Sissel's car and break in and steal her stereo.
That
okay,
sucks 'cause it's not my car.
but it's still, you're going for something good.
Yeah,
you want the stereo, and it's
Right.
good, right? You're not. It's only okay. Anyways,
All right.
I gotcha.
but their deliberate will is theirs of themselves, inasmuch as it is in their power to be inclined by their affections to this or that. This will is in them is always evil. And this because they are completely turned away from the last end of a right will, nor can a will be good except it be directed to that same end. Hence, even though they will some good, they do not will it as well, so that one be able to call their will good on that account. Okay, so they can't get rid of their natural will for the good, but it's so like twisted and disordered that basically it's evil, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Understood.
Sorry, I was reading comments, so I was like,
Did somebody comment?
yes, Joe, we didn't scare him away yet, actually.
Sorry.
He's asking if we
We need to try harder.
He's asking if we've talked about at all the book The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis, which I don't know. Has anyone read it?
I really want to, but I have not.
I've read it a long time ago, but it's basic. If I'm remembering correctly, and Joe can correct me, but I believe it's about it's a bus ride from heaven to hell, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something heaven to hell. Yeah.
Yeah, I have read part of it, but not the whole thing. But I'm familiar with it, and it does involve a bus stop. So, all right, Paula, if you're still with us, here we go. Here's the question: whether there is a purgatory after this life.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think Thomas is going to say? Yes or no?
Oh, gee, I wonder.
Okay.
This is not one I'm going to change my answer. for.
Okay, he says, it is sufficiently clear that there is a purgatory after this life, for if the debt of punishment is not paid in full, after the stain of sin has been washed away by contrition, nor again are venial sins always removed when mortal sins are remitted, and if justice demands that sin be set in order by due punishment, it follows that one who after contrition for his fault and after being absolved dies before making due satisfaction is punished after this life. Wherefore those who deny purgatory speak against the justice of God, for which reason such a statement is erroneous and contrary to faith. So Thomas, shocker, believes that there's a purgatory. Okay?
Who could have seen that coming?
I know.
I know, right? It's
And then the
crazy.
last thing, are the pains of purgatory greater than the temporal pains of this life?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You figure, I mean,
Well, it depends on what pains you mean in this life, because there's something that could really, really be unfortunate. And then, like, I don't know, paper cut versus, like, being hit by a car.
yeah, that would hurt.
No, I know the actual answer to this.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Purgatory are the same fires of hell. It's just temporary.
Yeah, that's what Thomas says.
Yeah.
I don't think that's church teaching, though.
Oh, it isn't? I thought it was.
I read an article by Tim Staples recently that, I don't know. I think that was kind of a medieval thing, I get it may be, but I just think we don't know.
Well, yeah. We can't
But can you imagine like being like, you ever just like stuck your finger like in a flame for 2 seconds? I wouldn't recommend it, by the way.
Yeah, don't do
If
that.
there's any kids out
try
there
this at home.
watching, don't do that, kids.
Unless you want to see what hell's like. I mean.
Yeah, or like sometimes I'm making eggs in the morning and I pick up the spatula and a little bit of the heat comes
Oh,
up and
yeah.
it's like
It's terrible.
So is it like maybe I mean, because we don't have they don't have their bodies, so what kind of a burn is it? I mean, what kind of fire?
but they'll get their bodies eventually though.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
general-
okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We're talking about the final judgment.
Yeah,
right?
but
Oh,
like
okay,
right
okay.
now, souls in hell. would be the eternal separation from God. You know, so it'd
Okay.
be kind of like
Okay.
a mental hell.
Yeah.
So it hasn't started like the burn like that sort of stuff. Wouldn't have started till
Yeah,
later.
not the-
Because
not the
purgatory would be
physical,
more of the
yeah.
mental.
Yeah, but
torture.
purgatory is kind of like if I, you know, Sissel.
Oh, dear.
What was it? Sissel was talking. What were you saying earlier? You wanted
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate. So I put the most delicious chocolate that Sissel could ever imagine just out of her reach.
That's
Okay, and it's
cruel.
right there, but she knows she's going to get it eventually. Like it's like people in purgatory know they're going to go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
heaven, but they're
Right.
not there, and they want it, and it's painful.
Yeah,
I'm
but
glad that we
there's also, like-
clarified that you know when you're in purgatory that you're going to heaven because that could be a
Yes.
little bit stressful.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
sitting-
like you could go either way.
yeah, you're like, what is
Oh
happening?
no!
You
Well, I
know?
think about it, if the saints had a hard enough time here with just that almost like that separation anxiety of being apart from God.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine? I mean, gosh, yeah. I mean, the
and
soul.
you're like so close.
So
Yeah,
close,
yeah.
yeah.
And I also think, you know, if you don't teach your kids to pray for the souls in purgatory, when you die, they won't pray
ain't
for
praying for
you,
you.
and that will be part of your punishment. You know,
Oh,
think about
man.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Manny's like gonna go home right now and be like,
Hey, honey.
pick up
I
the
got a lot of
rosary
rosaries to go.
right now.
I mean, you have nobody to blame but yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
never
true.
taught your kids, and like nobody's praying for you.
Oh gosh.
Although, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, for those who have nobody to pray for, you know, like they probably get out quicker because nobody, you know, they're the ones that everybody's
It's easier to
praying
remember that than, than
Yeah.
everyone's name sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I know a guy that actually put in his will money to pay for masses for himself and his family.
That's smart.
Yeah. So when I die, it like kicks in and masses will be
Well,
sold.
but you think about it, how
Wow.
many people their kids fall away. Like, so my family, my grandmother passed away, and none of us were practicing Catholics. Now, fortunately, sorry, my watch just made a noise. My family, fortunately, is the only one now practicing Catholic. So thank God, now my grandmother has someone praying for her. But yeah,
yeah.
it's sad.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So last chance for any comments. We're almost at the end of the program. This is when we transition. Not quite yet. I want to see, are there any other comments from anybody out there? I think, has everybody left? Have,
Oh, I have a
Good.
comment. I just want to say. Oh,
Are you-
He
type
didn't
it in
leave.
real quick.
He's tied down to the chair.
So one thing I've heard is that if you offer up the sufferings of this life, you know, penance for your sins, that's worth more than the sufferings of purgatory. Because in this life, you can choose to embrace the sufferings and offer it up, whereas in purgatory, you're just forced to.
Yeah.
Just want to.
Yeah. It's forced to kind of like.
Well, you just have to do it.
Yeah, right. So if you fast or you do something voluntary,
Yeah. Or if I stub my foot and I'm like instead of just like pouting about it, I can say a prayer and offer it up to God or something.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. It's that old thing about offered up.
Or you can just consecrate yourself to Mary. Everyone should do that, by the way.
Yeah. Have you done that?
I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Through St. Louis de Montfort? Or? Oh, okay. Oh. That's pretty good. I mean, I wish when I was your age I'd done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
They
wasn't
say
happening.
that she prays for you when you're in purgatory. So
Yeah.
worth
Okay.
Another way to cover your bases.
exactly.
All right. You want to go ahead and move us into the next stage of our fun here?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's now that time of the show where we do a little hell on earth with trivia with Dave, Cecil, and Jonathan, and Manny.
And Manny. All right. So we have trivia. Now, you
Okay.
didn't know about this, Manny, so we excuse you for not bringing trivia in. Okay?
No, you have to come up with something right now on the spot.
Jonathan's kind of hit and miss with this trivia. He gave up not doing well on trivia for Lent.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm offended, Dave.
Yeah. All right.
Can't believe
Well,
it.
he's done so well so
and
far.
You're equipped?
I am equipped.
Okay. Well, how about we let the Jonathan?
He's very
let the
excited.
Jonathan-
we never know week to week whether Jonathan's going to be here, so we
Yeah.
got to take advantage while we have him.
Exactly. All right, so these are very random and have nothing to do with anything. I should rephrase.
Okay.
My speciality.
I love all of Jonathan's qualifications
I know.
before
I know.
qualifiers
He
before he
always,
actually says anything.
So they don't stick to a theme apart from the fact that it's Catholic.
How many are there?
3.
Okay.
My friend had has a box of Catholic trivia cards, and he sent me some pictures of them. So I just took the best ones.
Okay. So do we just kind of any one of us can kind of shout the answer? Diane plays too, right? Diane likes trivia. Diane's all about it.
Right, no, I'll just go around individually. And you can
Oh,
do
okay.
that.
We only have 3.
Okay, well, whatever. All right. What century did the Holy See establish a military ordinate to administer to the military?
What century?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So who do you want it to guess?
You. Let's start with you.
Okay, I'm gonna say 16th century.
guy's wrong.
Oh man.
It was the 20th century.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be recent.
Oh,
and then I thought-
interesting.
okay.
I had
Okay.
no, nothing in my
Alright.
brain
Yeah.
for that one.
Actually,
Okay. All right.
Sissel, you might actually get this.
Oh, thank you.
You didn't say, Dave, you might actually get this.
Okay,
is this?
what German play accused Pope Pius XI of being too close to the Nazis?
Well, which say that again.
Oh,
Which what?
Which German play?
Play?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I've
Stage
heard
play?
of this.
I think so.
Okay.
I have heard of this, but I don't think I remember the name of it.
That ain't gonna help you.
No, it's not.
Anybody listening at home, if you want to guess in, feel free
I
to
got
do
nothing,
that.
sorry.
Do you want a hint?
Yes, please.
I shot the sheriff.
But I didn't shoot the
Shot
deputy.
sheriff.
Yeah, so...
But I did not. Eric Clapton?
Was that supposed to help? Yeah, I was like, I'm going to say Eric Clapton. Wait. So you were acquitted of...
It's called The Deputy.
Oh,
That's the
I
play.
said the deputy.
You did?
Yeah,
I said, but
she
I
actually
didn't shoot the deputy.
Yeah, but you didn't get it. Like,
But I said the phrase, the deputy.
Diane started. Oh yeah, that's good. All right.
right,
She
so-
started to give you the
Never
clap.
mind.
No, we should actually come up with a sound effect for the you kind of did like a clap boom.
yeah.
Or maybe the boom with clap underneath
Boom,
it.
clapped.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Alright.
so this one for you, Diane.
Okay.
Oh, so man didn't get one?
Oh, do you want to do it instead?
I guess.
Y'all
Yeah.
could tag
could
team
try.
it. You could tag team it
Yeah.
We'll
together.
do together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
Alright.
two choices, two
Okay.
answers.
All right,
Okay.
so before conversion, what religion were the Friars of the Atonement?
Jewish.
Before the conversion?
Oh, I know this one.
Oh, I don't know. Buddhist.
Jews.
I'm gonna say Anglicans.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
you guys are way
Yeah,
off.
you know how I figured that one out is because the Anglican Youth Church in San Antonio is called the Church of the Atonement. It's something about atonement and Anglicans.
They just like atonement.
Yeah, they like it. Yeah,
All right.
it's a lot to like. I mean, it's good. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We give you
You're welcome.
a B+ for your efforts.
That's decent. I'll
That's
take it.
honestly, it's pretty good.
All right, Sissel.
All right. I also have 3 questions, but I'm just gonna ask them generally to the crowd.
to the-
You're not going to be as fancy as me?
Nope.
Okay.
So I thought I had a kind of a theme, but one of them kind of threw it off. But it was generally like it's about people and who was where, when. Who was where, when.
Who was where
In
when?
the Bible and saints. All right.
Okay.
So first 2 are on the Bible. Jonathan's favorite. There is in the 4 Gospels only one woman is mentioned in all 4 of them by name to be present at the tomb of Jesus.
Mary.
Magdalene.
Yeah, there you go.
Who got it?
Mary wasn't specific enough because there's no.
Yeah. Did Jonathan get that
several-
one? I think Jonathan.
I think they both said you both said Mary Magdalene.
Yeah,
right?
so they're-
Time, yeah.
That was kind
Did you say anything, Manny? I couldn't.
No,
tell.
I just they just
They
yeah,
were
they're too
so
fast, for
fast.
me.
That was
Yeah.
kind of a
Mary
photo
Magdalene.
finish there.
That
Yeah.
was
was
honestly.
like,
I kind of want to replay that and hear what that
what?
sounded.
Yeah.
You're still registering what?
The little squirrel was like, okay, here we go. Here we go.
And she's on to the next question.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to name 3 apostles, and these 3 apostles were present at 3 pretty key.
James, John, and Peter.
I'm going to name the apostles. That's not the question.
Okay.
You have to name the 3 events that they were all present for.
Oh,
that are
okay,
pretty
I know
big.
that, I know
So Peter, James, and John were all present for 3 pretty key events that happened in the Gospels.
Transfiguration.
That's 1.
The fish thing.
The fish.
Friday fish.
No, it's not, that's not one of the ones I have.
Multiplication of the loaves.
No.
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, they were all there for that.
Yeah, they were all. So these are like 3 specific.
Last,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Last
okay,
Supper.
okay.
Okay, these 3 specific. Not all the time that all the apostles were present.
The Ascension.
No.
The
there's more people present
They
than-
were there.
only
the
those
agony,
three? Yeah, those 3.
The garden of the
Yes,
garden.
the agony in the garden.
Agony in the
Or
garden.
agony in the
Garden of
garden.
Gethsemane?
They were
Yeah,
the 3
garden.
of them.
Agony in the garden?
The 3
Yes.
of them went
Oh, yeah, that's
deeper
right.
into the garden with Jesus.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then there's one more.
There's one more. This one's probably the most obscure. You know, that is not as.
Okay.
Did they have a party in the backyard?
I didn't invite everyone
A
else.
barbecue.
Fishing on the boat.
It has to do with a healing.
Blind man.
No.
Oh,
Lazarus.
Healing of Lazarus.
No, but you're getting
Oh.
closer with the idea of Lazarus.
Wasn't Lazarus? When
Dead
they were in
Resurrection.
Mary's house, in Mary
No.
and Martha's house.
No,
Wait. No.
yeah, they went through the roof.
not him, but a
Yeah.
good guess.
Okay.
When they went to go find Mary Magdalene.
No.
Dang it.
Okay.
All right, you give up?
Yeah.
It's the raising of the daughter of Jairus. They were all
Oh,
present.
that's pretty
for that.
obscure.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
obscure.
yeah.
So I thought,
And only they were there?
only they were there.
Wow. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hold on a second. So my next question, my final questions have to do with the saint. Which was the first saint to receive the stigmata, and what year was it?
I think it goes way back.
Wasn't St. Francis? It was
Yeah.
even before St. Francis?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I think it goes way back.
Wasn't
I
it one
had
of the
no
Desert
idea.
Fathers?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh wait, Saint, no, I know this. Saint Arsenius.
St. Francis of Assisi.
Well, Assisi had it, but that's like
No,
13th
Arsenius.
century.
Arsenius?
We're guessing it's not.
wait.
Saint Gemma.
I didn't. You haven't given a final answer.
Miracle? Was it like as in a miracle they appeared?
No, just the stigma. No.
Like
just
the stigmata? Well, stigmata, that's what
Stigmata,
stigmata is.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought trick question
Saint
I was going to say
Faustina of
St. Peter. you know?
Kauska.
Yeah. I don't know.
Saint
You
Rita.
want to go with Francis of Assisi?
Well, it's before that, so
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
I'm
okay.
just saying
Padre
Arsenius.
Pio?
So, FYI, according to my research, it was St. Francis of Assisi.
Oh, okay.
really?
there you
So,
go.
and-
okay.
and do you have an idea for the year then?
Well,
No.
It would have been
I don't
13th
know.
century, so
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to say 1220.
Okay, I'll do the closest too. So
12:30.
I will take 1231.
1220.
Man, you guys are all
12:24. So Dave is the closest.
Yeah, even though they cheated, I still got it. Man. Okay.
Good job, guys.
I watched too much Price is Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be the fire round. I'm going to keep.
man.
I actually have 11 questions, but I'll do them quickly. Okay, some of these are really easy.
And Joe is playing along at home, by the way.
Oh, Joe
Okay.
is okay.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
Thanks, Joe,
Thanks, Mr. President.
for being with us. Okay, so by my best judgment, whoever says he's first will get a point, and then we'll
Are
tally
you
it up
allowed
at the
to
end. Okay.
challenge your judgment?
Yes, you are.
Challenge.
Okay,
judgment.
perfect.
Okay, since we talked about hell and purgatory and all that, I thought it'd be good to do questions related to the Book of Revelation.
Oh,
Okay, so these are
of course.
all
You
going
did
to
this
be
before too,
about
and we did terribly.
What we did? I did this.
You did some on Revelation.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not these questions.
All
Okay,
right.
I don't think so.
Well, it's not like we remember anything.
Okay, who wrote the Book of Revelation?
John, the apostle.
Okay, is this so? Okay,
Just
very
a
What's
good.
this your Protestant skills?
Okay, I need a working pen. Anybody have a pen?
Diane, could you bring us a pen, please?
Okay, wait. Okay, no, it's working now. Okay,
Okay.
Cecil is up 1-0 if you're counting at home. Where was St. John when he wrote the Book of Revelation?
Wasn't he on an island? I forgot the name
Damascus.
of the island.
Did we do not these exact questions?
Not
did we?
these exact questions,
okay.
no.
I don't remember.
Okay, he was
I
on
don't
the
think I ever knew.
It was on an island,
He
though,
was on
right?
the island of Patmos.
I couldn't remember the name.
Okay.
Do I get half a point?
St. Padme?
Patmos is in modern day what? Where
Greece.
Greece.
No.
Milan.
Egypt, because
no.
why not?
Italy.
Syria.
Good guesses.
Africa,
Israel.
Somewhere in Africa.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Okay.
Oh man, why
Okay.
didn't we think of Turkey? That was bad.
And you like turkeyness.
Mhm. I love
yes.
turkeyness.
Okay. John was banished to the island of Patmos by which emperor?
Oh, what was the emperor?
Neo.
Neo or Nero?
That's Nero is later. It's
Caesar.
a little
No,
later.
not Neo. No.
And,
I don't know.
Who was it? Gosh, I don't know.
Domitian.
Domitian.
That was on the tip of my tongue, clearly.
Yeah.
All right, rolling right along. The 7 churches of Asia Minor were represented by what image in the Book of Revelation? The 7 what?
Was it the fish?
No.
Sorry, say it again.
The 7 churches of Asia Minor were represented by what in the Book of Revelation? They're the 7 what?
And that wasn't the horses, right?
7 horses.
You're,
Seven
you're,
leaves.
you're answering in the form of a question?
It's 7 horses.
No.
Okay, well.
Leaves.
Lampstands.
Lampstands. Oh.
Ah.
These
For some reason, I was going to say horns. But,
Yeah,
you know,
horns. Hey, that wouldn't have been bad.
Oh, now this one you'll find interesting. You may not know this, but okay, Revelation is the only book in the New Testament that uses the word blank.
How are we supposed to know
Oh, wait,
that?
no. Indicating praise to God, and it appears 4 times.
repeat that again, please.
Awesome.
Revelation is the only book in the New Testament that uses the word blank, indicating praise to God, and it appears 4 times.
Hallelujah.
Close.
Breath. Hallelujah.
It's yes. It's a And,
How'd you say?
and-
Hallelujah.
And,
No,
we're not supposed
Aleph.
to saying that word.
I know, you're not supposed to say that
Dave.
word. No, it's in the form of a trivia question.
okay, okay, yeah.
Is that specifically written in the
Canon law
catechism? Like,
allows you. Yes,
there's a
okay.
little like caveat.
All right, so if you're counting at home, Sissel has 3.
Hey, Joe got that question, and he also got turkey.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
Sweet.
Wow.
he's doing better than we are.
I may
I
just
think
ask.
Joe might have to replace us.
Yeah.
Come on,
Joe
Joe.
can be in the hot seat.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
that Manny's actually done quite well.
Yes.
Manny's contributed.
Well, you're going to replace me? No.
Aren't you leaving eventually?
That's so
Okay.
cruel.
Okay, here we go. In the last chapter of the book of Revelations, readers are warned of dire consequences for anyone who would dare do what?
Mess with the Bible.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Rewrite
Add or,
the-
add or take
or
it
take
away.
away. That's right, that's
Okay.
right, yeah.
Good job,
Otherwise
Jonathan.
known as mess with the Bible.
Yeah, don't mess with the Bible, guys.
Thou shalt not mess
Had
with
it
the
been
Bible.
written in the 21st century, that's probably how it would have been worded.
Okay, this one's a little bit easier. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Other than the Book of Revelation, how many books of the Bible did Saint John write? Other than the
4.
Book of Revelation.
3.
I'm gonna say 3.
Is it right?
4.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
yes. He wrote 3 epistles: First John, Second John, 3
Third
John,
John,
and then the Gospel of John.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Just that was some quick math.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're named after him.
Okay, now this will be a good opportunity for you guys to catch up because this has multiple answers. Okay, so just go crazy with it. Sissel is up 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1. Okay.
Wait,
right
seriously?
now.
When did
Okay.
that happen?
And we're actually going to group you guys as a team.
Okay.
No, wait, hang on a second.
Kind of changing the
We
rules.
don't have the biblical knowledge that you do.
Changing the rules, yeah, because she was a Protestant.
That process
okay?
just infused with Bible verses at birth. They just they
Yes,
know
we
it.
are. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, I already said that the number 7 in the book of Revelation represents the churches and lampstands.
Yes.
What other things?
Perfection.
What?
Perfection.
No, what other things is representing like an actual thing, like 7 this, 7 that?
7
There's-
seals.
Seven.
okay,
Seven
wait,
times.
Are there 7 horses?
Yeah, no,
But the forgiveness.
this isn't scripture, right?
Forgiveness.
7
hold
seals.
on.
You said you were crazy with it,
Okay,
Dave.
Sissel got seals.
Well,
but-
7. Are there 7 horses, or was it a different number of horses?
4 horses.
Yeah,
4 horses.
Four
Dang it.
horses.
Okay.
Okay, so what else?
7
Forgiveness.
deadly sins.
7 sins? No.
The forgiveness. 7 times 7.
That's not in the book of
Oh,
Revelation.
there's
Revelation,
the
no.
figures, spiritual figures.
7 angels.
7.
cool.
The figures? Yeah, no?
Okay, the spirits of God. So we'll take
Okay.
angels for that. So Diane.
thank
Wait, I
you.
think that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Keyword trying.
7 hills or something.
Oh,
Seven
there's like a dish. Is it a
trumpets.
cup or a it's a plate?
Play with it. Go with it.
Bowl.
Bowls.
Ah.
Yeah, 7
7
bowls.
bowls.
Sissel.
They're like-
Okay.
That's about all I got.
There's a couple of them that you guys are gonna be like, of course.
7 guys.
7
No.
trumpets.
That's a good guess,
Wait,
Diane.
trumpets.
Good
Diane.
job,
yeah.
Diane, for the
Diane.
win.
Good job.
Diane's got 2 now. She's catching up. Okay. Did anybody say horns?
Yes, I said horns.
You said okay,
Oh.
Jonathan. Okay.
No, I didn't. I
Oh,
didn't.
do we ever actually say
You
the
lied. You lied about a book of a trivia game about Book of
St.
Revelation.
Thomas would be like,
Wait.
Okay, at
Hey,
the general judgment, people are gonna be like, "Whoa, you did what?"
dude.
you said apart from the 7 the 7 lamps.
Right,
I
right.
just want to make sure we didn't miss that.
So
Okay,
200
okay.
billion people are going to know that you lied during a game about the Book of
They'll
Revelation.
know about worse.
Joe,
7
Joe
seals.
saying diadems and stars.
Oh man. Okay,
Go,
so
Joe.
so you got
Okay.
stars, Joe.
We said virtues. Did we say virtues?
No.
Virtues.
Okay. Did somebody say diadems?
Yeah, Joe did.
Okay, Joe. Man, Joe is like kicking it, man.
Oh, I said that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did anybody say 7 heads?
No.
No.
7 heads.
7 feet.
Who's heads? 7
throwing
hands.
it-
oh, that's what I meant. I said 7 hills.
7 Hills, heads.
7 thunders.
Just a little
7
bump at the road.
seals.
7 thunders.
It's okay, well, I already got some. Okay,
7
so
lightnings.
I've lost track of the score.
7 lightnings.
I think Joe is so far the winner.
Hang on. I'll take that. How do you know that was me and not Joe?
Okay, all right. In Revelation 13:8, we learn of the number of the
Horse.
blank
The beast.
beast
Oh.
from Annie.
Beast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is the number of the beast?
Say it.
66.
No.
66.6.
666.
Okay, why
yeah.
Say, and
Okay, the last one.
Thousands.
Fill in the blank at the end of this sentence In the book of Revelation, he says, "Then I looked, and there was a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his father's name written on their
Lips.
blank."
Shoulder.
Tongues.
Head. Forehead.
Back.
Who
Knees.
said forehead?
I did.
Foreheads, yes. Yeah, since Sissel was basically rattling off every part of human anatomy.
Speak for intelligence.
Spleen, liver,
Baby toe.
big toe. All right. Boy, that was exhausting.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Did Joe hang with us the whole
He
time?
did. He said, "Wow, fast." I don't know which one he's saying "wow, fast" to, but we appreciate the compliment.
Wow, fast?
I think we were fast on one of the answers at some point in time.
All right.
Thank
Isn't there,
you.
you were saying, isn't there like a delay too?
Yeah, there's a delay. So he's
So they're at a big disadvantage.
who knows? Who knows? Yeah. But they still guess, and they still get the satisfaction of knowing that they were right.
Yeah, that counts for something, certainly. All right, well, Manny, good job in the hot seat, man.
Hey,
you just
thank
jumped
you.
right in like you are like an old veteran.
Oh, man.
Jonathan Van Weber Hunsberg, thanks for being on the show. No show next week because it's Good Friday, but we'll see you in 2 weeks. You coming back?
Of course.
Okay. All right. And Sissel, congratulations on your resounding victory.
Thank you.
Diane, thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody, for watching. God bless you. See you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for joining us for Back to the Father. And don't forget, the glory of God is the human person fully alive. If you have comments about the show, email Dave Palmer at grnonline.com.